In this topic, today we'll discuss about capacitors. So, when we hear the word capacitor, what we hear is we think charge is stored here. Charge is stored. How the charge is stored and what does a capacitor actually do? What is the formula for finding out capacitance? And all we'll see in this lecture. So, what happens when they're connected in series and what happens when they're connected in parallel? What is the equivalent capacitance? What happens when the dielectric material is induced between the capacitor? So we will see all the effects and about the description of the capacitor. Charge is stored. So it is actually how the charge is stored, and can it store infinite charge? What will happen? You see here. So for a material, now it is actually combination of two conductors having equal charges but opposite signs. So why this so? The capacitors we use just having two conductors having equal charges but opposite signs. But how the charge can be stored? Let us see. When we see the formula of capacitor, that will be equal to Q is equal to CV, or capacitance is equal to Q by V. So by seeing this formula, what you might think is, one mistake we generally do is, if charge stored is Q is increased, we might think that capacitance will increase, or potential is decreased, we think that capacitance is increased, but not. For a given shape of geometry, depending on capacitance depends upon its shape and its medium, that is the medium present between them, but not on the charge or potential. But why this formula? How is it possible? So now we'll see here how this can be defined from both from physics point of view and also formula point of view. How can we correlate? Suppose if I ask you what is density? Density is equal to what? Mass by volume, isn't it? So now volume is equal to mass by density. So now you see, if suppose there is a material, suppose water is there, water is poured into into a container, and then another water is poured into a big container. Do you think the density of the water will change? No, because here volume, this is suppose 1V, this is 2V. Volume is increased and also mass of this water is also increased, but the density of the water is actually remaining constant. Is the density depending upon mass and volume? Yeah, to some extent we might think, but it will actually depend, the material of it, the density of the water will depend upon the material. So in some other way, what we can say is, similarly, this capacitance is equal to Q by V. This capacitance will not depend upon the charge or potential, but formula is okay. In formula wise we can use, but capacitance actually depends upon the geometry and the medium present between them, shape of the conductor that we use. So let us go ahead and write formulas for capacitance. Capacitance of a spherical conductor isolated spherical conductor. Then that C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught r, radius of the spherical conductor, or otherwise C is equal to 4 pi epsilon r epsilon naught r if the medium is, if a dielectric material is kept in between it. If it is in air, you can use Fi over 4 pi epsilon naught r. Then for spherical capacitors, I told you already, two conductors placed with two conductors joined with opposite signs and having equal magnitude of charge. Suppose a spherical conductor of this sort, two conductors. So this is of radius A, this is of radius B. Then what will be the capacitance is 4 pi epsilon naught AB by P minus A. So how do you derive this? How do you derive this formulas and all? So first you see, for this spherical conductor, I'll take first conductor. So what is the, if a Q charge is brought from infinite to the spherical charge of radius, spherical capacitor of radius r, so what will be the potential here? Potential is kq by r, right? Kq by r. So now, what is the formula for capacitance? Q by charge stored divided by V. Q by potential is what? Kq by r. You see, QQ gets cancelled. The answer is r by k. What is k here? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Now you see the formula 4 pi epsilon naught. On what factors it is depending? Here epsilon is a medium, air medium. Radius is the geometry. Radius gives you the geometry of the sphere. How much bigger the sphere is, how much small the sphere is. 4 pi is a constant. Now you see here on what factors the capacitance is depending on the formula. That is 4 pi epsilon naught depending on the geometry and the medium. Similarly, this formula also can be derived from bringing the charge from infinity to here and trying to find out charge versus potential relation. And if that Q is equal to, if we derive the formula, some constant into V, this constant will give you the capacitance value. So this capacitance formula can be remembered. And another important is parallel plate capacitor. Here we have studied about spherical isolated capacitor and a spherical capacitor, which is a combination of two conductors. Here we'll study about parallel plate capacitor. What is parallel capacitor? If two parallel plate conductors are separated by a distance d and an area a, the conductor area is a, and they're separated by a distance d, and condition is electric field between them is constant. And they have opposite charges on both sides. That is, if one is having Q charge and there will be having minus Q charge. So then there will be an electric field between these two plates. Electric field between them is constant. Why I'm assuming is because what will happen if the D is very small and area is big, what will happen? The electric field will be from positive charge to negative charge in between the parallel plates. But on the edges, the electric field will be like this. But we neglect this effect while deriving an ideal parallel plate capacitor. Here the electric field is not constant. between the two parallel plates. If electric field is not constant, the formula that we apply is not true. So we assume, we neglect this effect, that fringe effect. But later on we'll study some formulas when come to advanced or mains exams regarding that fringe effect. So the fringe effect is neglected, and the capacitance that will be epsilon naught A by D if it is in epsilon naught A by D if it is in air medium. If any other medium, that will be K epsilon naught A by D, that K will be the electric constant of the material. If the K or ER is the electric constant of the material. The electric constant of the material. If we go ahead, note point is electric field should be constant between them. Here you can see some other formulas regarding if dielectric material is induced between them in partially. Suppose this this conductor I am showing, and in this way. One plate will be shown like this, another plate is shown like this. The distance between them is d. Now here, if there is a material that is partly filled, irrespective of where the material is present in between them, now the new capacitance will be equal to epsilon naught A by D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. This K is equal to ER, that is the electric constant of the material induced. Here, this can be easily derived. If you have doubt for first one time, this can be easily derived by deriving the previous capacitor. How does it happen? So what did I say? If you can rearrange the formula that Q is equal to some constant into V, then we'll be able to get, that is V is nothing but potential difference between that positive charge and negative charge. The difference between that positive charge and negative charge. Positive charge plate and negative charge plate here. So then this constant is nothing but capacitance. Let us see here for a parallel plate capacitor. So here the positive charge is there. Here the negative charge will be there. How this negative charge will come here? First we will try to bring this parallel plate to closer to this plate, and then due to induction there will be negative charge formed here and there will be positive charge formed here. Then if you earth it, what will happen? This positive charge will go to will be neutralized by earthing here. So then this positive charge and negative charge will be present on the two plates which are opposite, which are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Like that, there will be positive charge and negative charge. So now, so what is the charge present on these plates? On one plate you need to find out the charge present on it. What is that Q charge? So if the plate has area A, the charge will be equal to sigma A, because sigma is equal to charge by area. Sigma is charge density, the charge present per unit area. If the plate has an area A, then Q is equal to sigma into A. Then find out the potential difference between these two plates. That is V plus minus V minus. Potential difference between these two plates. We know that if you know the electric field, what is the potential difference here from varying? If it is constant electric field, you say V is equal to, electric field is equal to dV by dx. So dV is equal to, this we have derived in gravitational work and energy also. Force is equal to minus dou U by dou R, that is equal to minus of dou v by dou x I cap plus dou v by dou y j cap plus dou v by dou z k cap. Similarly, here for in only one direction we are going in x direction, this electric field is equal to can be written as dv by dx. Minus dv by dx means when it is going in the forward direction, the potential will decrease from positive charge to negative charge. If you are going higher charge to negative charge, then the potential will actually decrease. That will be the negative sign indicator. This dv is equal to e dx. If electric field is constant, then we can write it as v2 minus v1 is equal to minus symbol will be there here because it is decreasing. Potential is decreasing. Minus e into x2 minus x1 here. Then v2 minus v1 will be equal to minus e into x2 minus x1 is the difference. If this is x2, this is x1. The difference between them is the distance between the two plates, that is e minus ed. That means v1 minus v2 will be ed, multiplying minus with both sides. That is potential difference between the higher positive charge minus negative charge. It is positive charge and negative charge is ed, because left side one plate which is positive charge is at higher potential. Otherwise v2 minus v1 is actually minus ed by this formula. Now then the potential difference, that is v is equal to v plus minus v minus is equal to ed. Electric field due to a conducting plate, you know, that is sigma by epsilon naught. Conducting sheet we have studied from the previous classes in the electrostatics, sigma by epsilon naught into d. Now if you divide this one, q by q is equal to something into v. So try to find out what is q. Q is sigma a, v is sigma d by epsilon naught. Sigma sigma cancel, that will be epsilon naught a by d is the formula. That formula we have derived now. Similarly, if there is a material which is present in between them, what will happen to the potential difference and what will happen to the electric field? So electric field will be, so I'll tell you here. If there is a material present in between them. Okay. You see here, what is the electric field now here? The electric field here will become, this we have studied in again electrostatics. What will be the force or electric field if the electric material is present in between them? What did the force become? You check here. F dash is equal to K Q 1 by epsilon 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r by q by r square for a point charge. You see here, whatever the force become is F dash is equal to F by K it has become. So like that, here new electric field in this material will become E dash is equal to that E by K. So if we follow this formula, what will be the potential difference between them is will be V1 minus V2 will be equal to, if this is D and this is T, in this D material, the potential drop will be E D minus T. This is because this is a material, air is present. So electric field I am considering as E. E into D minus T plus E by K into T. Did you get it? Electric field is that E naught is present between this material into D minus T material, because D minus T is air here. D minus T thickness is air. So the potential drop will be E naught into D minus T plus E by K. E by K is due to, in this dielectric material, E by K into what is the thickness? T will be the drop here. So V1 minus V2 will be E naught, this is E naught into D minus T plus E naught by K into T. This can be adjusted as E naught D minus E naught T plus E naught by K T. This can be further written as E naught, if we take common, as E naught into D minus, if we take common, T into 1 minus 1 by K. So if we substitute this one, V1 minus V2, what is the formula of capacitance? Q is equal to sigma A, and E naught is sigma by epsilon naught into D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. The sigma sigma cancel. The answer will be epsilon naught A by D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. So I hope you have understood this formula, how I have derived, and should not for not having a lot of confusion in remembering these different kind of formulas. But you can remember this formula if the electric material, the electric constant K is kept in between the surface, irrespective of which distance it is present. So similarly, you can, this formula C is equal to epsilon naught A by D minus T into 1 minus 1 by K. Similarly, if this entire material is, by following this procedure, you can derive other formulas also. Two plates are present. This is filled with K1 electric constant. This is filled with K2 electric constant. This K3. Now here the electric materials are placed here like this, which is of thickness T1, T2, T3. In series they are connected between these two parallel plates. At that time the capacitance will be epsilon naught A divided by T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T3 by K3. How this formula? You can see E naught by K1 into T1 thickness there from the previous derivation that we have done. The V1 minus V2 will be equal to, first drop will be due to electric field in this region, E naught by K1 into thickness is what, T1, plus second drop will be E naught by K2 into thickness will be T2. Third will be E naught by K3 into thickness will be 3. So if you use this formula, we will be approaching formula and apply in the formula. If you use this formula of potential difference and Q is equal to sigma A, then we will be able to get this formula. Again, I'll just try to do it just for your reference. V1 minus V2 will be equal to E naught, I can take it as common. E naught can be written as sigma by epsilon naught electric field due to a conductor in a nearby point to the conductor. Here T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T3 by K3. So if you try to divide Q by potential difference, will give you capacitance. Sigma sigma gets cancelled. Epsilon naught A by T1 by K1 plus T2 by K2 plus T3 by K3. I hope this formula is understood. Then, if that arrangement is given of this sort, that is, the distance between them is plates is D, and this area is divided into A1 and A2. This is positive plate and this is negative plate, and this is of dielectric constant K1. This is of dielectric constant K2. Then the formula will be like this. C effective will be C is equal to epsilon naught by D into K1 A1 plus K2 A2 plus K3 A3 and so on, if there are a number of materials here. This is the formula that you can apply for this parallel arrangement of electric mediums. And that can be derived by following the same procedure that I have derived for the previous questions. Now let us see the combination of capacitors. Combination of capacitors. Combination of capacitors. If capacitors are connected in series, to a battery, positive, negative, this will be C1, C2, C3, C4, and so on. Then the capacitance is, if they're connected in series, there will be a potential drop V1 here, V2, V3, so on. That will be the total V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, so on. That is Q is equal to CV. So V will be equal to Q by C effective. In series, and every capacitor charge will be same, because here if plus Q is supplied here, there will be minus Q charge here. Here you see there is no connection for this material with the other plates. So if minus Q has got from, suppose it is completely neutral, because it is there's no initial charge between this plate to supply charge. Charge can be supplied from here, higher potential. So positive charge will go and will be connected to this plate. So if suppose 5 coulombs of charge is joined with this plate due to this positive potential, higher potential of the battery, what will happen? Here the charge is neutral, minus 5 coulombs of charge will come here due to induction between this plate. Then what will happen? If minus 5 is attained here, there will be plus 5 attained here. If plus 5 is here, again here minus 5 will be there. So like that, so plus Q minus Q plus Q, these are neutral charges, but the charge will be attained on these plates. Plus Q minus Q plus Q minus Q. Same amount of charge will be attained. So this will be in series connection, all the capacitors will have equal charges on the, that is charge on the positive plate, we'll take it as to be charge stored on the capacitor, that is Q by C1, that is Q by C2 plus Q by C3, so on. That implies 1 by C effective will be for series 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 plus so on. Similar parallel connection, for parallel connection of capacitors, so on. C1, C2. C effective will be equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3, because potential will be same for all of them. In series, charge will be same. In parallel, potential will be same. That will be, charge will be equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus so on. So this will be C effective into V is equal to C1 V plus C2 V plus so on. So it's V gets cancelled. So C is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 and so on will be the effective capacitance of for the parallel plate capacitor. And energy stored in the capacitor will be equal to half CV square if initially, suppose a battery is there, this battery of potential V, initially the charge on this capacitor is 0 and the battery has charged this capacitor. Battery will charge this capacitor till the capacitor get a potential difference of V, because same potential is attained, there will not be further transfer of energy charge to the capacitor. To transfer this charge of Q on the capacitor, the energy that will be work done by this battery will be equal to VQ, that is will be equal to CV square, because V is nothing but what? V can be related with Q can be related with CV. So CV into V will be CV square, but the energy stored in this capacitor will be half CV square, or otherwise Here we need to remember every time this formula is not valid energy stored. We need to understand what is the initial charge on this capacitor and which battery is getting connected. For a simple case, if battery of potential V is connected to the capacitance initially uncharged capacitor, then the energy stored in this capacitor is half CV square, and the work done by the battery is CV square. We can discuss problems related to it in the problems that will come by in further part of the topic.